too loud. Please take your conversations away. Please take your conversations away.
James, I'm going to call the police.
Call the police. You're a Zionist. They call the police all the time.
Please don't get physical
tell you not to
with
interrupt
people,
our
James.
meetings. Do you know who this old woman is?
No, who is it?
That's Tina Peters.
Oh, yeah, she's the one who just got released.
Yeah, she got Governor granted her clemency yesterday. She'll be released next month.
It's terrible.
Polis is a coward.
Do you think she's going to hurt somebody?
She might. Who knows? She's got judged guilty of a crime. She should pay the time. If you can't do the time, don't commit the crime.
We can't go in our circle. We want them out of our circle.
Well, he started a 5-alarm fire recently.
Right.
He's not even going to be tried because they say he's mentally incompetent.
Right.
You think
Well,
that's right?
yeah, I don't feel like punishing people who with a mental illness is in society's best interest.
Don't you think we should back Israel to some extent?
No.
Why not?
It's an apartheid state.
Right.
Gaza was completely enclosed for 20 years under incredible oppression. So it was a prison break. That's what it was.
But are you LGBTQ?
Oh, yeah, I'm queer.
Okay. What would happen to you if you walked into Gaza or any place called Palestine?
I don't know.
Being you.
I would assume my white privilege would keep me safe in that aspect. I'm not a...
Your white privilege in Palestine would keep you safe?
well, I'm just saying, like, I'm an American, I'm white, they're not going to, you know...
That's very rude of you to do that. Please don't do that again. Please don't come back.
Please get out of my face.
Welcome to Wayne's World, rising above the noise and confusion.
It's Wayne's Word.
Oh.
What do you represent here?
Nothing. I'm a journalist. I'm an independent journalist. So I'm asking questions, and I love to, when people are out on the street making a point, I like to come up and ask them to elaborate on it.
Okay.
How you doing? Good. You know who this is?
She looks familiar.
Tina Peters. That's Tina Peters.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
I know the name.
Oh, she was put in prison for she was an election
That's
denier.
right,
Yeah,
that's right.
And Governor Polis just yesterday gave her clemency so she can get out of prison. You think that was a good idea?
I presume that her conviction was just. What do you feel?
Well, I'm just wondering. I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't know much. I just know that a lot of people are upset that she's getting out of prison. So
Rightfully so.
Really? You don't like it?
Yeah, I think it's a horrible decision.
Okay, why is that?
Polis is a coward. I mean, she was convicted felon. She deserves to be in prison. She was given a 9-year sentence, rightfully so, for her horrific actions as a county clerk. And she should still be in prison. Well, she is, but hopefully she's not going to get out in June, but that's up to the courts,
Well,
I guess.
she's getting out in about 10 days.
Yeah, that's
So,
what...
it's, but this is, she's nonviolent. She's a grandma. She's...
Both are true. That doesn't mean she doesn't deserve what a jury of her peers gave us, found her guilty.
What about this guy? This guy, he started a 5-alarm fire recently.
Is that the guy with the apartment?
I think we both felt the adrenaline rush of it and not really knowing what to do, and we turned around and then stopped and just watched it for a little bit because we've just never seen something like that before.
Yeah, he started a 5-alarm fire, and
Right.
he's not even going to be tried because they say he's mentally incompetent.
Right.
You think
Well,
that's right?
yeah, I don't feel like punishing people who with a mental illness is in society's best interest.
Okay, even though he starts fires that could kill people. And
Regardless of what he did, he was mentally ill. He is mentally ill, and he shouldn't be punished. He should be in a mental institution, perhaps for a very long time, but not in prison.
But he's not even going to be in a mental institution.
Who says?
He's not going to be tried. He's
I don't.
not going to be prosecuted.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is, and this. But she didn't hurt anybody. She didn't
hurt
anything on
the
fire.
democratic system.
Okay.
Tremendously. She's an election denier.
So she should be in a
And
cage.
she was in a position of responsibility for an entire county, and she screwed up and sabotaged an election for an entire county. She
So
did hurt people.
She should be in a cage, but somebody who starts a 5-alarm fire should not be in a cage. I'm just wondering.
No,
It seems to me like that
I
should
don't
be a
think
better
you're
use of a
wondering.
cage.
I think you do have strong opinions
Well,
on
I
this.
do
but
have a kind of a. It seems to me the guy who's going to start a 5-alarm fire should be in a cage because he'll do it again. Whereas she didn't hurt anybody.
Yep, you said that, but again, she hurt a lot of people in a county that deserves democracy, which she denied them by
There's
trying
a
to
guy
fix
down
the
in
election.
Monument who ran over a person and backed up over her and ran over her again and then took off in a McDonald's parking lot, and he's not going to face prosecution because he's mentally ill.
Okay, again, punishing people with a brain disease is not in society's interest.
Even if they kill people.
Regardless of what they do, we need to treat them. They need treatment, not punishment.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate your perspective.
I'm sorry?
Do you know who this old woman is?
No, who is it?
That's Tina Peters.
Oh, yeah, she's the one who just got released.
Yeah, she got governor granted her clemency yesterday. She'll be released next month.
It's terrible.
You think that's terrible?
It's very terrible.
What, she needs to be in a cage?
She needs to be arrested and kept in jail for what she did.
Okay.
She was convicted by a court. It's not something that I'm making up. She was convicted by a United States court to get jail sentence, and the governor has decided to release her as early as May 1st. That's ridiculous.
Okay, what about this guy? Let me show you this person. This man right here. He recently started a 5-alarm fire on purpose, intentionally, without any concern for anybody else's life. He's not even going to be prosecuted because he's mentally ill. Because somebody says he's mentally ill. What do you think? Should he be behind bars?
He has to be adjudged by a competent person to be mentally ill, not just him saying it on his own.
No, a psychiatrist.
If a psychiatrist said he's mentally ill, then he stays in jail until he's mentally well.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even get prosecuted.
No, he should.
Okay.
He should get the jail, a mentally ill facility until he is well.
But he's not.
He should be.
Okay. Who's more deserving of being behind bars? This person?
They're both. I'm not going to choose which one. They're both deserved.
You would put her in the same kind of category, though.
I just
She just
won't.
needs to be in a cage.
I don't know about a cage. I said a jail.
Oh, that's a cage.
Whatever you want to call it, it's what the judges have said she should get.
Okay. What do you say to Governor Polis?
I say
You're
terrible.
You're
terrible,
a Boulder resident, I take it.
Yeah, I say it's terrible that he released Peters. It's terrible.
Okay.
That's what I say to
Do you
him.
think she's going to hurt somebody?
She might. Who knows? She's got judged guilty of a crime. She should pay the time. If you can't do the time, don't commit the crime, as an old saying goes.
Free Palestine from what?
Why would you want them to be oppressed like in the last 70 years?
Well, I don't want them to be oppressed, but they did go into Israel and rape and murder children and take hostages.
And who are they?
Don't you think they should be punished
Who
for
are
that?
they? Who are they?
Radical Islamists.
Okay.
Who
And what?
and
Where
the
were they?
Palestinian,
Where were they?
Government.
Where
was
were they?
The elected government of Palestine.
Where were they?
They went into Israel.
Where were they?
Israel.
Yeah, but where did they come out of? They came out of Gaza.
Right.
Gaza was completely enclosed for 20 years under incredible oppression. So it was a prison break. That's what it was. It was a prison break.
So people should break, if they break from prison, then they're justified in raping and murdering children and taking hostages?
You know, it happened in Europe in 1945.
Speaking of prison, do you know who this is?
No, I know.
This woman right here? That's Tina Peters. Do you know who that is?
I don't care about individual stuff.
No,
You're
but
talking. No, you're talking about whatever individual stuff
I'm
you
just
got.
wondering if you know
I
who
am not
Tina Peters
interested.
is.
I don't care.
Okay.
Hey,
She's a Mesa County
this
clerk.
is an individual. I'm talking about a policy of genocide that's been going on for 70 years.
Okay, very good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's what we
I'm
talked
calling,
about first.
That's
yeah.
what I'm calling about
Right.
free Palestine.
That's what we talked about first. Do you know who Tina Peters is?
Yeah, I do, but I'm not that interested right now.
All right, what do you think about Governor Polis, your fellow Boulder resident, who liberated her yesterday, said she should be out of prison in about 10 days?
I read about that. I don't know. It seemed to. I don't think she should be exonerated for what she did.
Right.
Her sentence was a little harsh, maybe.
Okay, so
But
you
I'm
think
not
it's all
that-
right that she's getting out?
No, I don't know. I don't know the circumstances yet. No, if she's getting clemency, that doesn't mean she serves any meaningful amount of her term. I'm not for it. But frankly, with what's going on in the world, I don't much give a damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask her, about some more substantial things?
Like
I know
what do you
you
wanna
can make
talk
a
about?
case. I don't particularly want to talk about anything.
Well, why are you here? You're on the street corner making a point.
There you
What
go.
is it? In U.S. funding for Israel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're a kind of a provocateur, so what do you want me
No,
to...
I'm just asking questions. That's all.
Asking questions.
Oh, yeah, well, they're not mutually exclusive.
No,
Ask
why
her-
should we end funding for Israel? You make a point, I'd like to know why. Because a sign, can only say so much with a sign. I'm giving you an opportunity to explain why we should defund Israel.
Okay. The amount of slaughter going on, the degree of aggression, the amount of slaughter going on in the Mideast that has to do with the expansionism, the militaristic ambitions of this administration in Israel is something that I feel should not be happening. And as you know, there's a mounting body of opinion in the United States that way, and very close in the Congress to taking a vote to end it.
Do you know that if you're gay and you live in Gaza, they'll throw you off a building? The government will throw you off a building. And they'll very publicly kill you. But if you escape to Israel,
what he's saying,
no, it's not actually, because I'm
totally
saying
irrelevant.
if you leave Palestine and you
Okay.
go
That's
into
okay.
Israel,
Okay.
then they'll take care of you. They will protect you as a gay person, as an LGBTQ person, but not in Gaza. They will kill you. They will, and they'll make a scene out of it.
All right.
So why shouldn't we fund the neighboring country?
Oh,
that
to
is
kill
about
people
justice for
because of bad anti-gay policies in countries, including Iran, that we should go kill people?
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying why not fund the neighboring country that is more aligned with the values of the United States?
That's Israel.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
we fund
if
Israel.
if they're in line with the values of the United States, hopefully those values are beginning to change here in this country, and I see that they are. So at some point, I think it will become evident to everybody that this is a horrible thing that's going on.
But if you're in Gaza and you have an abortion, that's punishable by death. You have to go into Israel, and I don't like abortion, but it's legal in the United States and it's legal in Israel. So we fund Israel because they're more aligned with us than the countries that surround them.
That's a pretty thin argument.
Why is that thin?
We're not funding Israel, and we're not attacking Iran because of any disagreement on those kinds of policies. It's a pure power move. It has to do with oil, and in Israel, it has to do with what has become a very sick society.
We're attacking Iran because Iran wants to wipe out Israel. They want to wipe it off the map. They've said so many times.
Well,
do you think
I hear.
that should they have a nuclear weapon and be able to do that? And they'll do it to the United States as well.
I don't think either Iran or Israel should have nuclear weapons, and Israel does.
Okay,
And Iran,
but
no-
Israel doesn't use its nuclear weapons simply because it doesn't like the religious beliefs of people in Iran.
There's no evidence that Iran is going to use a nuclear weapon.
Well, there's
or
no
that they're
plenty of
even
evidence. They say they
It's
will.
well known that they're not even developed. They do not say that.
They do. Many times Israel,
I remember, particularly
Iranian
in the
leaders how
past,
many times have said we would like to wipe Israel off the map.
Israel, death to America.
Death to Israel, death to America. From the river to the sea means wipe
I
out
remember.
Israel.
They don't even say that. They say death to America.
I remember.
right.
I've heard many times extremist statements on both sides.
Do you know who this is?
Tina Peters, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about Governor Polis? Your governor,
Yeah,
your
commuting
neighbor
our
here
sins.
in Boulder.
Yeah.
He just yesterday signed paperwork to let her go free years before her sentence is up.
Well, I don't love it. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because I feel like she was guilty of interfering with the election. I'm actually originally from Mesa County, and so I do understand the political fraughtness of the entire situation. It's a very red county, but I just really feel bad for all the lawyers and attorneys that worked their asses off to get her conviction,
To
get her
cage,
conviction,
yeah.
and then all that government funding that went into paying those lawyers and attorneys.
Now this guy here, he started a 5-alarm fire deliberately recently. It didn't care who it killed, what damage it did. He's not going to spend any time behind bars because a psychiatrist says he's not mentally well enough to endure prosecution. What do you think about that?
I don't know anything about that trial.
I know, but you think she should be in a cage? Should he be in a cage?
I don't know anything about that trial. So
There isn't going to be a trial. He did this. But they're not going to try him. They're not going to prosecute him because he's mentally ill.
Okay, well, I'm not going to speak on anything I don't have the information on. So
sure enough.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But,
This woman's like well into her 70s and she's a grandma. And I mean, does she need to be in a cage, really?
Okay, I don't really think that the grandma aspect has anything to do with whether or not you commit a crime. I appreciate
That's
that.
a fair point.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want anyone to really be in cages, but it's like, again, we spent all this money to get her prosecuted, and then the governor just throws it out. I feel like that's a waste of taxpayer money. Why did we do this in the first place? But I've only read like maybe 3-ish articles on the situation, and I'm not happy about it, but I'm not going to particularly protest about it. Yeah.
Sounds good. You are here to protest. What did Joe Neguse do?
He's funded all the military aid for Israel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think we should back Israel to some extent?
No.
Why not?
It's an apartheid state.
Okay. It's an apartheid state. What do you mean by that?
Well, they have a certain set of laws for one group of people and a certain set of laws for another group of people. So, for example, they just passed that law that requires the death penalty for folks who have committed terrorist acts, but it's only terrorist acts that particularly go against the idea of the state of Israel. So, despite the fact that there are settler terrorists in the West Bank, they won't be under the same law as, say, a Palestinian who commits terrorism in the pursuit of dissolving Israel.
Okay, but Joe Neguse would say we need to fund Israel because Iran would like to wipe them off the map. They've said it many times. Iran's not going to dispute that. They would like to wipe them off the map.
I mean,
the United States off the map.
I think the appropriate resolution would be a South Africa-style resolution, a peace and justice, a truth and reconciliation process in which the two groups come together and try to figure out their differences in a legal, diplomatic, non-violent way. Because as the current process is going on, it's only led to genocide and the degradation of the United States as a world power.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but are you LGBTQ?
Yeah, I'm queer.
Okay. What would happen to you if you walked into Gaza or any place called Palestine?
I don't know.
Being you?
I would assume my white privilege would keep me safe in that aspect. I'm not a...
Your white privilege in Palestine would keep you safe?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm an American, I'm white, they're not going to,
No,
kill...
what they're going to do is make a very public scene of it and throw you off a building for being LGBTQ.
I've heard that talking point before, and I guess my response to that is how many queer Palestinians have we killed in the genocide in Gaza?
But not because they're queer.
That's not answering the question.
What?
That's not because they're queer.
Yeah, it's because they're Palestinians. But I mean,
Well,
those are
but-
still
but
my
that's-
queer brother
those
and
are-
sisters who
yeah,
have
but
been obliterated
even
in fire.
Even when Israel attacked Palestine in it was in retaliation because Palestine came in and raped and murdered children, and they went after the Palestinian government for doing that. It didn't have anything to do with anyone's sexual orientation.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, so you're basically supporting a country that wouldn't let you stand here on a street corner as you are. They'd round you up and throw you off a building.
I mean, I personally don't believe that we should be dictating what other countries do about their social policies. I feel like Israel uses the queer community to pinkwash their image, and I don't really appreciate that because I see my queer experiences as informing my witnessing of this injustice, and I've been oppressed here. I'm not really anymore, and I appreciate that.
I cannot imagine you would be oppressed in Boulder, Colorado.
No,
but you wouldn't be oppressed in Israel either. And my gay son and my transgender son or both Zionists would agree with me.
Again, I grew up on the western slope, so I moved to Boulder because it is safer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I imagine you'd be all right in Grand Junction today.
Yeah. It's night and day from when I grew up. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's live and let live throughout most of this country these days.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just. Do you favor abortion rights?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you realize that if you have an abortion in Gaza, and it's found out, you face the death penalty?
You know, I understand what you're saying, but these are the same arguments that led us to war in Iran.
And
in
I'm not even in favor of abortion, but if I were, I would say, look, somebody who needs an abortion or wants an abortion who lives in Gaza can go into Israel and have one.
Okay.
And nobody's going to punish them for it.
Okay. Again, I understand.
So maybe Joe Goose has a reason for wanting to fund Israel.
Because they allow abortion?
That might be one reason, yeah, because they don't kill people for having abortions and they don't throw people off buildings for being LGBTQ.
Again, I'm not going to speak on that particular issue. I just would like to say that these are the exact same arguments that led us to war in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they have only led to more people dying. So 1 million dead Iraqis. For what? Women's rights? Okay, yeah, they have more rights now, but 1 million people died.
Okay.
And that doesn't even include all the American service members who have been killed and have dealt with PTSD.
Do you agree that Iran would like to wipe Israel off the map and the United States?
I can't see into the mind of Iranian leaders.
But they say it.
I know that they death to America. Yeah, sure, yeah. They say that, but I mean, they've got to.
Like since they're our ally, that Jonah Goose sees Israel as our ally, and helps keep us from being wiped off the map by Iran. That he would want to fund them.
Do you think Iran is really going to wipe us off the map?
They would if they could.
I think they would like to reduce the power and influence of the American empire, yes, but I don't see them having the potential to...
You know what they hate about the American empire?
What?
That we allow you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I'm sorry. I have no problem with you being who you are.
I really doubt that.
But Palestine does.
I don't know what the Palestinian people think of me. I don't care. I just would like the genocide to stop. I feel like that's a basic human issue that we should stand up to any genocide and mass death that we are personally complicit in.
Okay.
Whether or not they like me is not really something that factors in my mind. That seems pretty small-minded.
And I'm only asking you these questions because maybe it should factor in, really.
Really? Okay.
I mean, you're supporting a regime that does not support you.
I
I
don't
want you dead.
You know, I've never been told by an Iranian that they want me dead, but I've been told by you multiple times that I should be killed.
How well that goes.
Yeah.
Jump on a plane, see what happens.
I'm gonna go talk.
I don't want you to go to Iran, by the way. That would not end well for you.
Really, thank you. Once again, that sounds more like you're threatening me than the Iranians.
Oh no,
are.
not at all. I said I don't want you to go to Iran because I know what would happen to you, and I like you. And I don't want
yeah.
something
Well,
bad to
again,
happen to you.
I'm against mass death and genocide, so that's why I'm here.
Okay,
But thank you.
You're a professor?
Yes.
You're a smart guy.
Retired. Because it's illegal to attack a country which is not attacking you.
But they said that they would like to wipe us off the map and Israel off the map. That's one of our prime allies. They want to wipe it off the map.
That's bullshit.
And they're building nuclear weapons just so they can do
just that. They're not building. There have been all kinds of studies which show they're not building. That's Israeli propaganda. You seem to be subject to.
Over there, please.
Okay.
All right, Tom, what was your, you were a professor of what? Can you tell me?
Sociology.
Sociology, CU, Boulder?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Tom Meyer.
We don't want you in here.
He doesn't. He can go where he wants.
We can't go in our circle. We want them out of our circle.
Well, I am on public property right here.
This is public property.
You're invading our
Let's circle up, everybody. Thanks for
You can
coming
say you
out.
have the right, but it's
I've never come over
so
to
aggressive.
He can't.
Question. I got a question. Hey,
We
what?
got something
Hey,
happening.
okay.
You can take that away, please.
Excuse me.
away from here, please.
Hey, I'm gonna.
Public property.
I'll ask it. I'll ask it right here. I'll straight.
Go ahead.
Okay.
What do you want to ask?
Hey, my question is, when that dude lit that lady on fire on Pearl Street Mall, where was everybody at to protect her? Where were y'all at to stand up for that lady on the mall that got lit on fire?
That's a good question.
I'm just saying, where was y'all with
Well,
y'all
why don't
6-point
come
stars?
ask him
Y'all
that.
know she was Jewish, right?
Yeah, come ask him that. This gentleman wants to know where y'all were when they lit a lady on fire on
Can
the
you please
mall.
take it away? Can you
Just-
please
just a
take
Hey,
few
you're
people
interrupting
here.
our meeting. Please
Well,
go away.
I'm
You're
just asking.
interrupting our meeting.
Conversations away.
Matter. We can go where we want.
I want to be in the meeting.
No, you're interrupting our meeting.
So what?
But
You're
you're
on
not in
the
a private.
opposite
But you're
side.
not on private
You're on
property.
the opposite side. You shouldn't be invading our meeting.
You're in public space, and I happen to be sharing that public space.
Okay, well, you're not being very considerate, are you?
Well, I'm just wondering. That was a good question. What did you think about the guy who
No,
threw
we're not
fuel
going to be arguing
on
about that
Jews
shit here.
who were peacefully marching
No, we're not
right
gonna be
a few
arguing
blocks
about
from here?
You're just a propagandist, and you
Well,
want to
why
spread
don't you
propaganda.
want to argue about it? It's a legitimate question.
It'll be over.
Huh?
Please take your conversations away. It's too loud. Please take your conversations away. Please take your conversations away.
James, I'm going to call the police.
Call the
If you
police.
get
You're a
physical,
Zionist.
you
They
will
call
get
the police all the
arrested.
time.
Please don't
Police
get
will tell you
physical
not to
with
interrupt
people,
our
James.
meetings.
Okay?
I'm not interrupting anything. I'm just
Yeah, you
standing
are.
here.
You're interrupting it.
I'm standing
Please
here.
take your conversations
Just
away.
don't get physical,
Please
James.
take
You
your
can-
conversations away.
Don't get physical. Getting physical is not okay. It's all on video.
Do you have a permit to meet here?
We can't hear. Please keep your conversations
James,
down.
you have a
Or take
permit?
it away.
Are you guys permitted here?
Please keep your
I'm just gonna-
conversations down.
I'll call the. I mean, I can just call the cops.
Do it.
It doesn't matter. They'll say nothing. They won't stop it.
Yeah, everybody come closer. Everybody come closer.
Okay.
Please,
I just
back
want
up.
to. Okay, I want to
Back up.
participate in the meeting.
Please back
and I was
off.
gonna
Please
ask you-
back off.
Okay.
Please back up.
Okay.
We got a meeting going on.
James,
how do
Please,
you
can you
feel?
back up?
I'm gonna
Thank
call
you.
the police
We're-
on you.
Can you
Why
be quiet?
don't you? Why don't
James,
you? Why
I
don't you?
will. And I'll show them the video and we'll see what they do.
Go ahead,
You
asshole.
can't do that. I can yell all I want. I didn't get it lean in. I yelled all I wanted. I can yell at them. It's public.
Why are you covering my face?
Because you shouldn't be here.
All right. You are interfering in my personal space
No,
on
you're-
public
no,
property.
you're interfering with ours.
No, you are interfering with my personal space on public property.
This isn't your space.
Do you know who
they're
this
gonna do
is?
something to me for yelling? No. But if you get physical, that's a different story. So please don't get physical. That's all. You can say anything you want.
You have multiple people here with shirts saying genocide. Do you know what a genocide is? Define genocide. Do you know? I'm defending. You said they're not racist. Define genocide. What is genocide?
This guy likes to talk to himself. He asks
You
the
said they're
question,
not being.
and then he doesn't let people answer.
Well, what do you think
Good
of
job.
genocide?
Dude, don't touch me. His contention is they're not racist. My point is they are, because they're using dual standards. One standard for genocide for Israel, a different standard for everyone else.
Well, let's come over this way. And
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to explain. So the standard for genocide is you have to show two things that they're missing. One is you have to show that the population was affected in whole or parts. Now, it doesn't matter.
You're affecting our meeting now. You're affecting our meeting now.
I'm getting it on video, and I'm this first
You're not
place I'm
permanent.
going
We have
is
every right to
police
be here.
station.
We have every right to be here. You're not permanent. It's not a
I will be more than happy.
I want to know how you feel about the woman who died after
I
somebody.
don't believe Israel has a right to exist. I don't think Hamas qualifies as terrorists. They're political.
Somebody threw fuel on her a few blocks from here and she died. What do you think?
It doesn't matter. We are opposing. We are exercising. We are exercising the Heckler's veto on a racist organization. I am exercising a Heckler's veto on a racist organization. Is a Heckler's veto on a racist organization.
Can I walk up to a Klan rally if it's being held in the park?
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Of course you can walk up to a Klan rally.
So what if
These guys
this
are
is
using dual standards, one for Israel, one for every country on genocide. That makes them racist.
This seems a lot like a Klan rally.
They just don't put the voice of Rajab last night. They've got stuff going on today. It's really obnoxious. It's very interesting stuff.
Am I allowed to walk up to a Klan rally that's taking place on public property?
You're interrupting, sir. You're interrupting. Please.
And what are you doing?
Please. You're interrupting. So stop interrupting, okay?
I'm not okay. I was just asking a question. What do you want to know? I want to know if this were a Klan rally in the park, could I walk up to it?
Festival.
And
Say
be
it again.
Okay, so what's the difference?
The difference between this and a Klan rally?
Yes.
Are you that dumb?
I'm asking.
Are you actually that stupid?
I would like to know the difference.
Listen to what people are saying here, and listen to what would be said at a Klan rally. And if you can't tell the difference between what's being said here and at a Klan rally, then you qualify as extremely stupid.
I'm not interrupting it. I'm just holding up a microphone.
We got to pass these out.
Yeah, I already
Did you guys get some?
Nobody's questioning your right to cover this.
Here.
Okay,
you
good.
can take
Thank
that.
you.
What we are questioning
then
is your right to stick microphones in people's faces when they don't want it,
what
and
else
to
is
do
happening?
that. Okay?
Okay, it's not in
So
your
why
face.
don't you move back a little bit and
not
let
in your
these people
face.
have some space?
I'm just standing here like everybody else.
The funny thing these guys do is they go to city council meetings, they go to organizations, they do
Excuse me.
But if they want to
Mic
speak,
check.
you try to
Mic
shout,
check.
they try
Mic
to shout
check.
them down.
You know how
So
to.
they don't actually support.
You know how to use the mic check.
That would be one thing.
You know how to
I
use
do
the
support
mic
mic
check.
check.
When a speaker
And
speaks.
that's why I can do the same thing.
That's very rude of you to do that. Please don't do that again. Please don't come back.
Please get out of my face.
James, you're going to get arrested. I don't want to see that happen to you.
Has somebody called the cops? Because
Would you like me to?
You're very
I would like
rude.
somebody
You're
to call
very,
the cops.
Yeah, go
because
ahead. Please call the cops.
Yeah.
You're very rude. You're not welcome.
You're in my
Doesn't matter,
face.
James.
You just
don't
touched
get to
me.
decide. You don't get to decide who comes here.
He's yelling at me. I want you to make. I'm gonna make sure you hear what I say.
Okay.
Please don't come back.
I will come back to this public property anytime I want. I'm from this town.
The Jewish blood. What about your own people?
I don't believe in Judaism. I believe in
Lynn,
Judaism.
that's fodder. We don't need that, okay? I know.
My kids aren't Jewish.
Thanks,
But I
everybody.
still think, in spite of that, you shouldn't lie about them. Just because some Jews act bad doesn't mean you get to spread lies that are racist in nature that they're committing a genocide. That is a flat-out blood libel lie that is encouraging the greatest increase in anti-Semitism that we've seen. I'm not going to get out here because your racist statements are fomenting racial hatred against Jews, and I will stand against it when I see it. You are racist, and I will stand against you.
We don't need.
Of course, you guys are racist. You don't want people standing up to you. I get it.
I am against you. You
are
racist.
racist. Do you want me to back it up? Do you want me to say why? Do you want me to tell you why you're racist, Lynn? Do you want me to tell you why? I am happy to explain. She's a racist because she uses one standard.
The Jewish fund, the Bundists. Think of them. Who are they?
And I know who the Jewish fund were. They got debunked after Nazi Germany.
I think that
the idea, their idea, which was Lynn, if you study the history of
Do you mind not interfering with my cameraman, please? You're in his space.
I know he didn't mean to push me, but he did.
Okay, well, I'm sure he
And
didn't
I'm
mean
just
to.
asking him
she's
to
a
be more
woman.
careful, okay?
I will defend her.
Oh, goody.
Do not get in her face.
Stay away from me.
James, she's trying to
Stay
walk
away
away
from
from you.
Honey, honey.
I'm not the problem.
I know you're not.
Don't treat me like that.
I know.
James, I'm going to the police station.
Excuse me, don't touch me, please.
I'm not touching you.
I can't wait to see James Duncan in handcuffs.
Okay? And I'm just telling you.
Well, then you shouldn't
that
be
he
protesting on a public
was-
space
that
if
he
you don't
was-
want to
he
be
pushed me,
recorded.
And I just wanted to let
I'm
him
sure
know-
he didn't intend to push you.
I just wanted to let him know that I wasn't hurt, but it was very scary. And so I
Okay.
just want to ask him to be more
I'm
careful.
sure he didn't
And
mean to do
sir,
anything to
can
you.
I have
If you look at the polling on this, it's really interesting.
May I have your name? No, you can't.
Polling. Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research conducted public opinion poll number 95 between May 1st and 4th of last year. Under that poll, they were supporting Hamas by pretty large margins.
Hamas has a right to fucking exist.
I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying they got to bear the consequences.
The Israelis don't have the IOF.
Wait, I'm not saying that the Hamas can't exist. I'm saying that if they exist, that they have to bear the consequences for their actions. You want to have double standards, Lynn. You want to have a standard for Hamas that they're absolved of everything, and you have a different standard for Israel. That's racist. Because you treat Arabs different than you treat Jews. And you're too unreflective because you're in a cult to actually realize how racist you are. I'm yelling at the racist, which is Lynn. In this situation, yes. In this situation, yes. So do you guys have any questions?
You're an attorney and you stand
I'm happy
out
to
and
explain every
represent
single thing I said. Everything I said about these guys is backed up. They might be nice people, but nice people can be racist too. They might have good intentions, but people with good intentions can be racist too.
That's why you're racist.
Say why I'm racist. Define it.
Some of
Define
them
why.
call me names,
Explain your
don't
position. I will explain why you are racist. Now explain why you think I am.
Just go vote for Joe Bennett or
Joe Bennett? Who's Joe Bennett? I don't
Joe
know.
Goose?
Bennett.
Michael Bennett?
Yeah,
You
just
don't like
go
him?
ahead and
Michael
vote
Bennett's
for
a
him.
racist.
Michael Bennett's a
You
racist?
bet. He's owned by
Why
APAC.
do you say Michael Bennett's a racist?
Phil Weiser's a racist?
Phil Weiser got Steve Redfern into this town. He needs to get him out. Then I might consider voting for him.
Who is
That
Steve
without
Redfern? What is his position?
Steve Redfern is our police chief in the city of Boulder.
All right, well, I haven't lived in Boulder in a number of years, but do you think maybe your issue with Phil Weiser and Michael Bennett is that they're Jewish?
No,
Oh, really?
no, I'm
Really? Come on.
Jewish. I'm Jewish.
Okay.
I'm
Really?
a bund. A boond. They
Okay.
call it boond.
Which guy?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm a boondist.
Dude, you bopped a pregnant woman on the head?
Foster, what happened to being about peace?
Dude,
You
she's
hit-
pregnant.
You hit a pregnant woman on
You
the
hit-
head with your sign?
You hit a pregnant woman? Dude, seriously?
I'll have to review my video, I guess, huh?
She's visibly pregnant.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know she shoved me.
Foster, it's all on video. I guess we'll have to see, huh?
Dude, that's something else. I mean, it's one thing to be a racist, it's another thing to hit a pregnant woman.
It's another thing.
To be.
Oh, really?
Really?
Do you know who this is?
Yeah.
Tina Peters?
Yeah.
What do you think about her getting, the governor yesterday signed clemency so
Pretty
she can get out
much
of
he
prison?
shouldn't have. He's probably a right-wing Zionist too.